This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, create a Django project. Create a Django project. Create a Django project to perform the CRUD operations. To perform the CRUD operations. Okay, step number 1 to create a Django project. Step number 1 to create a Django project. Simply, I want to activate my virtual environment, my VNV slash script slash activate. Now Django hyphen admin start project project name. My project name is 17. Already 16 projects are over. Now new project is 17. Okay, go to my project, Django. Now I want to creating an application. Simply how to creating an application by using start app command. Go to project location and to create an application in our project location, in our project. Simply cd next one python space manage.py start app 17 app 17. Okay, simply these are the commands. Next one, step number 3 to install our application in the settings.py file of the project. Simply open the VS Code IDE. Go to project folder. Open the folder. D drive under the Shiva. Folder name is Django 10:30 p.m. My project name is 17. Now open the project folder. Here settings.py file is available. I want to add my application here. App 17. App 17. Okay, open the settings.py file. Step number 4. Step number 4. What is that step number 4? Now observing very clearly, to create a templates. Before that one, to create a database. To create a database in MySQL server. Now I'm open the MySQL command line client. My password is now show the databases show databases command we are using. These are the list of databases. I want to create a database. Create database name project 17 db. Now here I am creating one database. I want to verify the database is created or not. Again show databases. Now our project 17 db is created. Next one, step number 5, to install MySQL server database server MySQL database server related Django database API. Django database API or database package. Now simply pip space install space MySQL client. MySQL client. Already in this particular project I am installing. This is the command. Step number 6. Next, what is the step number 6? Now observing very clearly to configure the MySQL database settings. To configure the MySQL database settings in the settings.py file of the settings.py file of the project. Settings.py file of the project. Okay, now observing very clearly, open the settings.py file. Open the settings.py file. Go to database concept. Here database engine is MySQL. Database engine is MySQL. Now we are adding our database name. What is our database name? My database name is, simply observing very clearly, pro 17 db. That is my project name. That means like is a database name. Simply user. Simply user. My username is root. My username is root. Next one, password. Password root. My username and password both are same. Next one, host. Host. Simply here my host is localhost. My host is localhost. Port number 3306. 3306. This is the database settings. Database settings. Next one, step number 7. Step number 7, to configure. Next one, to define a model. To define a model classes in the models.py file of the application. Simply here I am open the models.py file. I am open the models.py file. Now observing very clearly, Go to app folder, open the models.py file. Okay, next observing very clearly, here I am declaring one model class. My model name is employee. My model name is employee. Models dot class name is model. Next, I want to declare the attributes employee ID. Simply models dot integer field primary key equal to true. Primary key equal to true. Employee name models dot char field max length equal to 30 characters. Employee salary models dot decimal field max digits, totally 6 digits. Next, decimal places 2. Next, department number equal to models dot integer field email models dot email field blank equal to true, blank equal to true. And status employee status equal to models dot boolean field default equal to false, default equal to false. This is a model class declaration. This is a model class declaration after defining a model. Okay, okay, after defining a model class, next we need to check any errors in our model class. How to verify that one? Simply python space manage.py check command I am using. Okay, if there is no issue, simply this message we are getting. Step number 8, to check the errors in our model. To check the errors in our model class. How to check the errors in our model class? And step number 9, to generate the tables in the database. To generate the tables. Next one, to create a model class instance or models. To create a models. How to create a models? Simply we can apply the make migrations. Python space manage.py make migrations. Before executing this command, I want to use my database like as a project 17 db file show tables. Okay, there is no tables, empty set. Next one, I am applying the make migrations. Tables are not generated, just a model employee is created. Model employee is created. Again, I am trying to execute same command. Tables are not displaying. Tables are not generated in the database level. Step number 10. Step number 10. Now observing very clearly to generate the tables, to create a tables in the specified database, simply python space manage.py migrate, python space manage.py migrate. Okay, now verify the tables in the db level. Now tables are generated. Okay, next observing very clearly step number 11, to define a templates or to create a templates templates folder, and to set the path for our templates in the settings.py file of the project settings.py file. Before that one, go to project folder. Now here I am created one folder. That folder name is a templates, and go to settings.py file. Under the template section, base dir slash templates. Okay, next step number 12, to create a views in the views.py file of the application. Okay, now observing very clearly now here, open the views.py file. Here I am creating a one view input. Okay, input def input. Okay, now here that is a one function. It function takes the parameter as a request object. After that one, a render I want to call request object, and input dot html, input dot html. Now I'm creating one html file in the templates folder. Now simply I am creating input dot html, input dot html file, doc type html, open the html tag, head section and the body section. Title, okay, in the body section. Okay, just I want to create a one input form. Next one, enter, okay, employee ID, simply input, type equal to text, name equal to ID, name equal to ID. Okay, before that one, I am using field set. Within that field set, I am creating a form. Next here, I am using legend method, employee input form, employee input form. Okay, next one, enter employee name, ename, meaningfully EID. Next one, enter employee salary, enter employee salary. Here, employee salary, employee DEPT number, DEPT number, DEPT number, D number, employee department number. Next one, in the model, D number, email and e status. Enter employee email ID, email ID, email. Enter employee status, employee status, ename, e status. Next one, input type equal to submit, value equal to submit, value equal to submit. Now this is a form creation. This is a form creation. Whenever we are submitting the form, which action we want to execute it, that action part we are providing here. Insert. That action part I am providing here. Now observing very clearly, go to urls.py file. I want to configure the URL that particular file. Simply from app 17 import views. Simply here re underscore path re underscore path re underscore path. Now simply path equal to input slash here views dot which function we want to execute it, input function I want to execute it. Next one in the views.py file, the views till now it is working properly or not. Simply I want to verify python space manage.py run server, python space manage.py run server. Now simply I am using input meaningful I am taking. Now input form is created. Okay, now we are enter the data, click on the submit. I want to execute one function. Okay, now simply the input.html I want to display this one, some center ampersand emp emsp ampersand emsp ampersand emsp. Now okay, now simply here okay, or I want to reset button, I want to create a reset button, I want to create a reset. Next one input type equal to reset, value equal to reset, value equal to reset. Two buttons I am created. Okay, now observing very clearly I want to def insertion insertion request. I want to take the data from that particular form. Simply eid equal to eid equal to eid dot or request dot get variable of eid eid get variable of eid. Now that value is converting into integer, that value we are storing into eid. Employee name request dot get variable of ename and the employee salary equal to request dot get variable of employee salary. That salary is converting into float. Next one, employee department number int of request dot get variable of which one, employee department number here, EID, ename, employee department number, email, and employee status. Employee email, okay, employee email equal to request dot get of email, employee email. Next, employee status equal to request dot get of employee status. Now this value is converting into boolean value. Okay, taken as a either true or false. Where enter the value true, it will be treated as an integer. Okay, now simply int r boolean. For suppose I am converting into boolean. Okay, now I am creating employee object. What are the model fields? EID, ename, employee salary, department number, email, and employee status. Simply come into here, E equal to how to store the data, model names and values. What is our model? First we need to import your model here from dot models import employee. Now model name is employee, EID equal to EID, ename equal to ename, employee salary equal to salary, employee department number. Here I am using D number. D number equal to employee department number. Next one, email equal to employee email and status. Status equal to status. Next one, I want to save that object. Okay, next one, return render request comma insertion result. insertion result dot html. Now go to templates. One more file is created. Insertion underscore result dot html. Doc type html. Opening html tag. Head tag. Now here I am creating body tag. In that body I am providing one message h1 inserted successfully. Now I want to call this URL, this method or this function, this view. How to call that view? We can providing some URL. Okay, now simply here re underscore path. What is our URL? Insert. Which logic we want to executed? My requirement is insertion. Views dot insertion. That logic I want to execute it. Now restart the server. Now I'm enter the employee ID 101, employee name Shiva, salary 3000, department number 10, employee ID, email ID shiva at gmail.com, employee status true, and submit. Here query dict object is not a callable, where it is getting error message. Here employee ID, employee name, employee salary, department number, email, and e-status. Now simply here in the insertion employee email request.get email ID, e-status, and float boolean. For suppose I'm not converting anything. For suppose okay, query dict object is not a callable. Okay, employee of EID, e-name, e-status. Email e-status, integer, float. Okay, e-status. Okay, some spelling mistake in my code. Status. Okay, that is my problem. here. What is that problem? Okay, status. Okay, get off status. Let's suppose I'm converting into boolean. Okay, inserted successfully. Now here I want to use my table. Use my table. I want to select the data. Select star from my table app17 underscore the employee. Okay, one record is inserted. One record is inserted. Okay, I want to create one URL here. I want to go to backward. Here href equal to insert. Insert. Click here to insert another employee data. Okay, now I'm refresh, go back, refresh, one more record, 102, employee name Rama, employee salary and department number Rama at gmail.com false. Okay, now click on here EID. Now simply here multi-value dict. Okay, now here insert. Just wait. EID int request.get. URL input, not insert input. Just wait. Okay, which URL is executed? Input URL. Input URL. Okay, input. This page we are getting is slash input. That's why here input slash. Very good. Now this is a form submission. Next one, my requirement is I want to take the data from the database and I want to display the data in our DB level. Next, observing very clearly def retrieve request. Okay, next one, I am creating data equal to employee dot objects dot all. I want to fetch all the data from the database. The data we are storing into data variable. Next, observing very clearly return render render request comma retrieve underscore result dot html retrieve result dot html and the context variable records and here data. Here we are assign the data. Okay, now observing very clearly retrieve result. Here I am creating one HTML file. Doc type HTML head section and the body section here I want to create a table tr th employee id employee name and employee salary, employee department number, employee email ID and employee status. Next one, tr, another tr. Now I am using for loop. R. Here I am writing the for tag for variable record in. Here which variable we are using? Records. Next one, here I am taken as a tr tag. In that tr tag td tag record dot employee id record dot employee id employee name model field names and the employee salary in the model department number and the email in the model. Okay, id name employees or department email e-status 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 and finally for tag is closing end for okay. Next here we break tag. Now here same insertion result. Again I want to go to this input page. Click here to insert another employee data. Now this view function related okay, one URL configuration where it is created in the urls.py file re_path. Okay, where r path equal to retrieve views dot retrieve. Okay, now here I am calling one more URL here retrieve. Okay, table is created. Now click on here. Now input form is submitted. Now simply here in the insertion result I am creating one more link tag href retrieve. Click here to retrieve the employee data to display the employee data. Now simply here 103 employee name Krishna, employee salary 4000, department number is 30, email id krishna@gmail.com and employee status. Okay, now click here to display the employee data. 3 employees data we are getting. Now by default we are getting true values. Now because here we are entering the true or false, okay, it will be treated as a boolean format, boolean of string. Okay, boolean of string, we can take anything. It will be treated as a true value. Now again I'm trying to insert one more data. Okay, employee ID 104, an employee name Sachin, employee salary is 45, department number is 10, and Sachin at gmail.com. Okay, default value I'm taking as a false value. Now display the employee data. Now it will be treated as a false. Okay, default value is false, but we are enter either false or true within the string boolean of, we can take any type of string, that value will be treated as a true. That value will be treated as a true. For suppose here in the logic, okay, in the views.py file, we are not converting boolean. We are not converting boolean. Now again I am trying to executing employee ID 105, employee name Rohit, and the salary is 3900, department number 30, Rohit at gmail.com. We are not enter any value, like as I am enter the false value. Now display the employee data, it will be taken as a false value. Okay, for suppose again inserting the data 106, an employee name Virat, an employee salary 4200, department number 20, and employee email ID Virat at gmail.com, and the status is true. Submit, display the employee data true value. Okay, now here I want to try to delete the employee data. Delete the employee data. For example, I want to delete the operations. Okay, operations. In the last column and the first column, in the last column I'm providing activities. Okay, how to add that activities? Go to result.html. Okay, here in the th anchor tag href equal to slash delete delete. Okay, here I am providing operations within the td tag ampersand emsp. Next one, okay, update. Now here these are the operations. Whenever trying to delete, click on the delete option. Which logic you want to execute it takes the employee ID as a input. Employee ID as a input. Based upon that employee ID, that record we are deleting. That record we are deleting. Okay, click on the delete option. Now that record I want to delete it. Now how to performing that activity? Now observing very clearly here both are delete I am using. Okay, simply here I want to change the data, update. Okay, now observing very clearly delete slash which one slash which one record dot eid here slash record dot employee id. Now observing very clearly this delete related URL configuration I'm writing here path slash delete id enter id. How to apply that one? Enter employee id int employee id. Which logic we want to execute it? Here I want to write the logic where we are writing in the views.py file. Views.py file. Just observing. Okay. Now I want to create a logic for delete. I want to create a logic for delete. Okay, now observing very clearly here, I am writing some logic for which one update or delete. Okay, now here ID. We are using which one? ID. Int which value we are passing. That passing I am passing into which one, what is that URL? Here I am specifying which URL into employee ID. Employee ID. Which logic we want to execute it, where we are creating in the views. df delete request object comma employee id simply how to delete that record based upon the condition. Which condition? Okay, I want to delete that record. First we want to fetch the data. Employee. Which employee data we are fetching? Our model name is employee dot objects dot get id we are passing. Get eid equal to employee id Next one, employee dot delete. Delete. Now, whenever click on the delete, return, return, simply here request object, return render, return render, request, comma, delete, delete underscore result dot html, html. Now this logic I want to execute it. The go to URLs, configure that one. Which one? Views dot delete function I want to execute it. Okay, next one. Okay, I am creating one HTML file. Which HTML file I am creating? Delete result dot HTML file I am created. Where we are creating in the templates. In the templates. Okay. Doc type HTML, HTML head section and body section h1 deleted successfully. Okay, deleted successfully. Okay, now again I want to go to either of input data and retrieving the data, insertion result. Same these two logics I am writing here again. Okay, now for example I am trying to delete this record. Okay, click on the delete option, delete int id. Okay, the current path delete record.employee id. Record.employee id did not match any of these. Okay, just delete int id. Okay, views dot delete. Okay, I want to get the data. How to get that data? Simply observing very clearly. Delete insertion retrieve that release. Okay, record dot employee id we are using. Id, that is a variable representation by using curly braces. By using curly braces. Now I am trying to delete this one R106. Now deleted successfully. To display the remaining employee data 5 records. Now delete is working properly. Are you clear? Are you clear or not?
Yes.
Next class tomorrow also this continuation. Okay, remaining concept we can update the data. Okay, how to update the data. After updating, we are applying some static files configuration, like as we are adding the CSS and the JavaScript logics. Okay, are you clear?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
And can you send the last class documentation too?
yeah. I will share that today.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.